Good morning, spiritual family. It's your boy Malik checking in, tapping in again with you. It might not be morning when you see this, but it's morning when I'm making this. And that leads me directly into my point. Today I got a word for y'all. I woke up today, I did my meditations, I did my working out, my morning routine, stuff like that. And it came to me. That download just came to me that indecisiveness is where alignment turns into stagnation. I'll say it one more time. Indecisiveness is where alignment turns into stagnation. A lot of us struggle with being indecisive, whether that's procrastination or being a perfectionist or whatever. It's hard for us to make a decision and then go commit to it. Why am I making this video at 6 in the morning? Because I already decided that I was going to do this YouTube thing a little harder, that I was going to build a system to where YouTube became effortless, where it flowed into my day. So I really had to do a deep dive. When you decide, you have to align. Because if you don't, then your alignment will turn into stagnation. Because you can be like, okay, I'm a YouTube, I'm this, I'm that, and that. But I hadn't made a video in a month and a half, because I had no system in place. Because I hadn't decided how I'm going to do it. So now, without saying too much, I got a simple morning routine, and it doesn't require any willpower. It doesn't require any motivation. Maybe for day 1 or 2. But naturally, your body starts to adapt and grow once you give it a routine. But you have to decide. The problem is a lot of us are indecisive and we don't know why. So we can't get out of that mindset. So indecisiveness doesn't come from, not knowing what you want to do, not knowing who you want to be. Because if you didn't know, you wouldn't be watching these type of videos. You know you want to grow. You know you're destined. You know you're meant to be different. You are always different. You were always set apart, meant to lead. The problem is you don't know what faith is. What does that mean? How does faith relate to being indecisive? Same way faith relates to procrastination. Because if someone is truly faithful, that means they believe in the vision and they don't need to see it right now. Faith is the substance of things unseen, meaning you believe in something that you cannot see, but you have full investment into it. But if you're a perfectionist, it often means that you're that type of person. You might be a type A person. You need things to go right. You got to have everything in a certain alignment. Everything goes a certain way or it's going to make you upset. Or you're that type of person who I might procrastinate, not because I'm not good at what I'm doing, but because I'm hesitant to jump right into it. Because I need to see everything checked, everything lined up before I make my move. And all of that relates or points back to you not having enough faith. Because if you truly had faith, if you truly believed in what you did not need to see, then you would build a system to where now I know what I want, I know what I want to do, and I'm going to let the universe bring it to me. Because truly, once you align with something and you decide and you move and you build a system that pushes you in that direction, the universe gets out your way. I said this before, the universe will do 2 things when you make a decision. It will A, get everything that doesn't align with that out of your way. And then B, everything that does align with that and push you further will join you on your path. You might meet new people once you make a decision to have a new life. You might get a new opportunity. You might be offered something that you already wrote down that you didn't plan on getting until 2028. But you made a decision, you move with alignment, you move with faith, not by sight. And next thing you know, that thing came quicker than you believed it could. Because that's how God works, man. That's how the universe works. Whether you're spiritual, whether you're religious, it doesn't matter. The universe has laws. God has principles that follow every time. And one of those principles is you are what you attract. So you have to make a decision to be something, even though you can't see it. Even though I made a decision that I monetized on YouTube, and YouTube monetization isn't my first or second stream of income. I made that decision already. Does the world reflect that to me? No. Does the world say my follower count or my subscriber count is 1,000? I got all these watch hours? No. I'm at 166 today. It doesn't matter. Because the universe can't tell me something. I have to tell myself something and let the universe prove it to me. I've told myself I'm aligned with being that YouTuber who's making money, who's doing this, who's helping the community, who's giving back, and I'm already starting programs in my neighborhood. I'm already coaching. I'm already doing all type of things to pour back into the youth. I'm doing a lot of things that wouldn't have happened if I hadn't take that journal session and really align with who I want to be. So I want to leave you with a scripture today as well. Watch out, man. I got a new dog, man. He all over me. But I want to leave you with a scripture today. One of my favorite, and I might butcher it because I'm not a religious person. I just like scripture. I read the Bible, I read the Quran, I read different type of books. But Romans 8:28, all things work for the good of those who believe. All things work for the good of those who believe. So if you truly believe, you don't need to see it. That's why they say walk by faith, not by sight. If you're not a religious or spiritual person, let me give it to you in a different way. Let me give it to you in a scientific way, because I know a lot of us, just like me, I was like, I'm not religious, I'm a scientist, till I had to grow up. But if you're a scientific person, have you ever heard of the double slit experiment? The double slit experiment is an experiment where scientists were observing the movement of particles, like smaller than atoms, particles, excuse me. And as they're observing these particles, they realize that while I'm watching the particles, they only move in a straight line. They only move linearly. But once I stopped watching, they had a camera going. Once they stopped watching, the particles move completely at random. Everything's random. There's no sense of pattern. There's no sense of linear system. What does that mean for us? You have to make a decision and just go. The problem is we need everything to be lined up perfectly, so we're watching. You ever heard that a watch pot never boils? Same thing, because you're watching the pot, you're watching the water, or they're watching the particles. So the universe knows when you're watching. Like I said, God has laws. The universe has laws. The universe knows when you're observing something too hard. You ever been like, man, I'm going to manifest this money. I'm going to get this money in my bank account by the end of it. You put a date on it. Now you already limited the universe. You already limited yourself. And then you keep checking your bank account. You keep checking, wondering when this money going to hit. The money's never going to hit if you keep watching it. You ever heard of like, man, I don't know how I got this money. I don't know how I made it happen. I just believed and God showed me a way. Yes, because when you believe, you give it to the universe, you give it to God, and you say, God, make this happen. And the Bible already told you in Matthew that whatever you pray for, believe it and you will receive it. So if you truly believe it, that means you truly have faith. And if you truly have faith, you don't need to see it. That's why they say walk by faith, not by sight. Because as you move by faith, you move with alignment, and alignment will put things in your path that help you and take things out of your path that hinder you. So today, I need to finish getting ready, man. I look a little gray right now. But today, I want you to take that with you today. Take that with you. Don't be indecisive, because the longer you wait to make that decision, the longer you wait to live the life that you want. Somebody else is making the same decision that you're procrastinating on, and you're going to see them in a couple of days, couple of weeks, living the same life that you could have lived had you made the decision and just went for it. So today, I'm going to say it one last time. Indecisiveness is where your alignment turns into stagnation.